So today we are going to discuss further in the capital market. So very warm welcome to the class of IFS friends. And in today's lecture, Unit 1, Indian Financial System, today we are going to discuss the third component of the financial system, that is the financial market. And within that we have our discussion on the capital market has been completed relating to primary market in our first lecture. Today we are going to talk about the secondary market, and within secondary market we will be covering OTCEI, ISE and regional stock exchanges and the derivatives market. Now coming about the secondary market, we have last time discussed that primary market comprises of the market of securities that are exchanged between the company and the investor. So for the first time when the securities are issued, that is the primary market. The secondary market is when the securities are issued when among the shareholders, among the security owners, any transactions is going to take place, that comprises of the secondary market. The secondary and the primary market transactions cannot be carried out without involving the stock exchanges. So coming to the secondary market is nothing but a platform or a market for exchanging the financial securities among the investors who are already owning the financial securities like equity shares, debenture, preference shares, etc. etc. Now coming to the financial market in the world, in every country, the financial markets are always regulated. In our country, financial markets are regulated by Security and Exchange Board of India. We have got two major stock exchanges, namely Bombay Stock Exchange, which is the oldest stock exchange of our country, and National Stock Exchange, which was set up in the year 1996. Both these stock exchanges are online. BSE was not online stock exchange. Now it has been converted into an online exchange where all trade take place on an online basis. Now, in our last lecture, we have discussed something about the regional stock exchanges, and after setting up of Bombay Stock Exchange, the culture of investment was spreading across India, and the very first stock exchange that was set up was in Ahmedabad, then that was Ahmedabad Stock Exchange. Thereafter, many other stock exchanges like Nagpur, Meerut, in Gujarat there were two other also, like apart from Ahmedabad Stock Exchange there was Saurashtra Stock Exchange, Vadodara Stock Exchange, Meerut Stock Exchange, Kolkata Stock Exchange, Jaipur Stock Exchange, Madras, that is right now it's Chennai, right? Stock Exchange. There was Cochin Stock Exchange. So there were a total 23 stock exchanges, right, at one point of time during 95-96 in our country. Now, Security and Exchange Board of India, as a regulator of all the financial intermediaries, was set up in the year 1992, and it started its operations, right? It started working. And the very first rule it came out was that we want to make all stock exchange operations online. And also the NSE was set up in the year 1996 to very first online stock exchange in our country. So the other stock exchanges, that is Bombay Stock Exchange plus the other stock exchanges, regional stock exchanges, were required to go online, or it means that the trading should be done on online basis. It means that if any person is having any security that is listed on the Ahmedabad Stock Exchange can be traded from anywhere in the world, anywhere from India. So the different regional stock exchanges also, they started their exercise, they started activities, they took up the activities to convert their operations from physical mode to the online mode. Now you will agree that if you want to work on online basis and that too at a national international level, then you need to have huge resources, huge computer system, huge IT network system, proper risk management system, so that we can carry out the activities on an online basis. So basically, online trading is a very costly thing. Now, on one hand, Security and Exchange Board of India was reforming the stock exchange operations कि जो भी पेपर वाला ट्रेडिंग होता था उसके बदले पेपरलेस ट्रेडिंग के लिए स्टॉक एक्सचेंज को बोल दिया. On the other hand, there were many changes that were introduced by Companies Act, and Companies Act requirements were changed for the listing of securities, and listing rules were changed that any company which wants to have a listing can have listing on any two national level stock exchanges, national level online stock exchanges. So basically, if you have a listing on Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange, then you can list on other stock exchanges, but it is not compulsory, right? What was the rule earlier? The earlier rule was listing on 3 stock exchanges. One was one national level. तो उस टाइम पे नेशनल लेवल का सिर्फ बीएसई ही था, बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज ही था. तो हर एक कंपनी को कंपलसरीली बीएसई पे तो लिस्टिंग करवाना ही है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट एनी टू अदर स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस, आउट ऑफ विच वन शुड बी रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि suppose there is one company which is registered in Ahmedabad, right? Okay. So the company should have listing on Ahmedabad Stock Exchange plus one national level, that is on Bombay Stock Exchange, plus one more stock exchange. Company may say that okay, I will have listing in Delhi. Somebody will say I will have Meerut. Somebody will say I will have Calcutta Stock Exchange. So basically at that time, the listing used to be on 3 exchanges, right? One was BSE, one was regional, and another was any other stock exchange which company choose. But the new rule said that the company should have compulsorily listing on any two national level online stock exchanges. Then if you want to have more, it is the choice of the company, but 2 is compulsory, right? Now, because of this, what happened was a disaster. What happened actually proved to be very disadvantageous to the regional stock exchanges. So, where the problem started? See, any company which wants to have listing on any stock exchange, then we have discussed in our earlier class that company is required to pay some fees for allowing the stock exchange for trading of the securities, and it is known as the listing fees, right? तो listing करने के लिए, ट्रेडिंग चालू रखने के लिए स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में कंपनी को हर साल थोड़ी फी देनी पड़ती है, उसका नाम है लिस्टिंग फी. तो अगर कंपनी को कंपलसरी कितना बोला, 2, राइट? एनएससी और बीएससी पे कर लो ऑनलाइन. तो ऑन दीज 2 exchanges company has to compulsorily pay the listing fee. Now when you are listing on only 2 exchanges and you are able to have a national presence, इसका मतलब ये 2 स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में लिस्टिंग करके कंपनी के शेयर दुनिया में कहीं से भी ट्रेड हो सकते हैं, राइट? तो व्हाई द कंपनी शुड पे एडिशनल लिस्टिंग फी टू अनदर रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस? ये क्वेश्चन आ गया, क्योंकि एनएससी बीएससी में तो फी देना है, ये फी देने से हमारा जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि भाई हमारे शेयर का ट्रेडिंग कहीं से भी हो सके, वो तो हो सकता है, राइट। तो रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में आई एम सॉरी तो रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में लिस्टिंग करवा के एडिशनल फी हमें जो हर साल देनी पड़ेगी, वो फी भरने का कोई फायदा रहेगा नहीं, क्योंकि बॉम्बे और नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में आप लिस्टिंग करवा के भी आप कहीं से भी ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हो। तो आपको अलग से अहमदाबाद या वडोदरा या जयपुर या मेरठ का स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में लिस्टिंग कराने का जरूरत नहीं। तो व्हाट द कंपनी डिड, companies started removing their names, right, from the listing of from the regional stock exchange. So the companies which were earlier listed with the regional stock exchanges, they started giving application to the regional stock exchanges that we don't want to continue listing on our stock, on your stock exchange. So companies started delisting. जब हम ट्रेडिंग के परमिशन के लिए लिस्ट करवाते हैं उसको हम लिस्टिंग बोलेंगे, मगर जब हम लिस्टिंग कमी करवाते हैं उसको बोलेंगे डी लिस्टिंग, राइट। So companies started applying for the delisting. So what was the problem? Suppose on Ahmedabad Stock Exchange there are 1,000 companies that are listed. Out of those 1,000 companies, suppose 600 companies say that now we don't want to continue listing on the stock exchange. तो इसकी सबसे पहली इफेक्ट कहाँ आएगी? सबसे पहले इफेक्ट आएगी कंपनी की लिस्टिंग फी के ऊपर, क्योंकि जो लिस्टिंग की फी मिलती है वो क्या है? स्टॉक एक्सचेंज की इनकम है। So if the companies are not listed and the companies withdraw their listing, company go for the delisting, then the source of income will be stopped. So if there are no companies listed, then what is the use of the stock exchange? I hope you are getting it right. So basically, the regional stock exchanges stopped getting the business of listing from these companies. And because of that, it was very difficult for the stock exchanges to continue the operations and work further. And therefore, most of the regional stock exchanges were closed down. Are you now clear about regional stock exchanges? So regional stock exchanges were there at the time of physical trading, paper trading, where investors were going to the broker with the फिजिकल शेयर सर्टिफिकेट कि मेरे पास ये शेयर है मुझे बेच के दो, या फिर वो पैसे लेके जाते थे कि मेरे पास ये पैसे है मुझे एक कंपनी के इतने शेयर मुझे खरीद के दो। सो द ट्रेडिंग वाज टेकिंग प्लेस ऑन अ फिजिकल बेसिस। नाउ इट इज online basis. There is no need to go with the hard cash. There is no need to go for with the शेयर सर्टिफिकेट, क्योंकि कंपनी भी शेयर सर्टिफिकेट इशू नहीं करती, आपका खाते में डीपी खाते में जमा हो जाता है, पैसा आपका बैंक में से डायरेक्टली डेबिट हो जाता है या फिर क्रेडिट हो जाता है। तो बेसिकली देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ फिजिकल ट्रेडिंग। नाउ द रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस वर सर्वाइविंग। रीजनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज को बिजनेस मिलता था क्योंकि जो ट्रेडिंग था वो क्या था? विथ पेपर, फिजिकल ट्रेडिंग था। इसीलिए क्योंकि अगर अहमदाबाद में से किसी को शेयर बेचना है तो वो बॉम्बे तो ट्रेन पकड़ के नहीं जाएगा, उसके लिए तो सबसे अच्छा रहेगा कि अहमदाबाद स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में अपने शेयर लेके जो भी ब्रोकर है उसके पास वो चला जाए। लोकल लेवल का ट्रेडिंग उसके लिए अच्छा था। मगर अभी मुझे अहमदाबाद में बैठ के बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज या नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में ट्रेडिंग करने को मिलता है, तो वाई शुड आई गो टू अहमदाबाद स्टॉक एक्सचेंज? क्योंकि उसमें BSc NSE के लिए तो मुझे I know you are getting it right. I can trade from my own phone, from my own laptop, on my at my home, at my convenience, right? So the regional stock exchanges have all closed down. Now I'm coming to the next point called ICSE, right? So we have got ISE, Interconnected Stock Exchange. ISE, Interconnected Stock Exchange. Now, we have discussed about the problem with the regional stock exchanges, that they stopped getting the business. So now what happened was that all the regional stock exchanges, they understood that because of the new guideline of listing on any two ऑनलाइन स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस, दे केम टू नो कि भाई ये गाइडलाइन आ गई है नेशनल लेवल पे, कोई दो एक्सचेंज के ऊपर आप लिस्टिंग कराओ तो चलेगा, तो सब स्टॉक एक्सचेंज वालों को तो पता चलेगा ना कि भाई हमारा तो धंधा बंद हो जाएगा, चौपट हो जाएगा, राइट। उन्होंने ऑनलाइन करने की भी कोशिश की, मगर फिर भी उनको पता ही था कि हमारा बिजनेस तो चौपट ही होने वाला है। सो दे केम आउट विद एन आइडिया, क्योंकि हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम होता है ना तो हम लोग आइडिया लेके निकालते हैं। सो व्हाट दे that we will make a separate stock exchange interconnecting those regional stock exchanges. तो अहमदाबाद, कलकत्ता, मीरठ, अजमेर, जयपुर, वडोदरा, सौराष्ट्र, राइट, जितने भी regional stock, there are about 19 to 20 regional stock exchanges were there. So all those regional stock exchanges, they say that we will make it online and we will all the 19 stock exchanges trading will be interconnected through one terminal, and thereby we will set up the interconnected stock exchange. There was a proposal, the proposal was sent to the Security and Exchange Board of India, a draft was prepared, everything was done, but actually interconnected stock exchange never came into operation, right? कभी चालू उनका फॉर्मल ट्रेडिंग का कुछ भी चालू नहीं हो सका, क्योंकि there were issues regarding the connectivity, there are problems regarding different stock exchanges, how they wanted to reconnect and how it will be beneficial to them. So everybody was in doubt, and therefore the whole idea, no doubt it was conceptualized, right? उसका लोगों ने सपना देखा, उन्होंने एक ढांचा बनाया कि हम ऐसे काम कर सकते हैं, मगर उसका कभी भी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो पाया नहीं. So we got the fourth category as the interconnected stock exchange. So up to now we have talked about four: Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Regional Stock Exchange, and interconnected stock exchange. Now the fourth category is OTCEI, or it is known as over the counter exchange of India. Right now, what do you mean by OTCEI and what do you mean by over the counter exchange of India? Now, there is a difference between the over the counter market and online market, right? Now, over the counter stock exchange came into existence because of the problems of the online stock exchange. The guidelines for listing on the Ahmedabad Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange were revised. So earlier, right in the beginning, somewhere 1990, 91, 92, the listing requirement for Bombay Stock Exchange was that public limited company should have a minimum equity share capital of ₹3 crore. जिस कंपनी की 3 करोड़ की इक्विटी कैपिटल थी वो कंपनी का लिस्टिंग बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे हो पाएगा. Then the limit was revised to 5 crore. That the company should have a minimum paid up, I repeat, not subscribed but paid up share capital of ₹5 crore. Immediately within a very short time period, the limit was revised to 10 crore. So if any company wants to have listing on BSE or NSE, the total paid up equity capital should be 10 crore rupees. However, तो इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि अगर आपकी 10 करोड़ की कैपिटल है तो ही ये दो एक्सचेंज में आपका लिस्टिंग होगा, 10 करोड़ से नीचे का होगा तो आपका लिस्टिंग हो पाएगा नहीं. Nowadays, company stock exchange does have a separate category for the companies who are having lower share capital, that is up to 3 crore, but earlier it was not there. There is one more issue, that if any company is having lower capital, less than 10 crore, then that company will never get an opportunity to get listed on the stock exchanges. That was a big question. So the SEBI proposed that we will come out with a new exchange that is known as OTC, over the counter stock exchange. Now, how or why it is known as over the counter. See, over the counter means that you will immediately get if you want to buy, you will be able to buy the shares, and if you want to sell, then you will get the cash. Now, why this OTC and why this OTC special category was thought of? See, what happens is that if you look at BSE and NSE, you will find that more than 5,000 companies are listed on the BSE and NSE, but all company share are not traded on a daily basis. 5,000 થી વધારે કંપનીના શેરનું બોમ્બે અને નેશનલ સ્ટોક એક્સચેન્જ ઉપર લિસ્ટિંગ થયેલું છે, પણ એ 5,000 કંપનીના શેરના રોજે સોદા પડતા નથી. It means that for some shares, for some companies, securities are not traded on a daily basis. So now there is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that suppose one company shares are not traded, and if some investor wants to buy that share or sell that share, then for the seller, suppose किसी को बेचना हो तो सामने खरीदने वाला होना चाहिए, और किसी को खरीदना हो तो कोई सामने बेचने वाला चाहिए, मगर वो शेयर में ट्रेडिंग ही नहीं हो रहा है, ना कोई खरीदने वाला है ना बेचने वाला है. It means that the very purpose of listing, that ensuring liquidity, allowing the investor to trade, that facility is not available to the investor because the shares are not traded at all. Now, for the companies which are very small, whose share capital is less than 3 crore rupees, all those companies again will be very small, and those companies' shares again will not be traded on the stock exchange. Now, OTC exchange is a unique type of stock exchange, where on the normal stock exchanges, the members are known as the brokers. Members are known as the brokers. On over-the-counter stock exchange, the members are not brokers, they are known as the dealers. Right? They are known as the dealers. So, what is the work of dealer? Dealer is dealing. It means that dealer will buy the share. If there is an investor and he wants to sell, then the dealer will buy. Even if he doesn't want to buy, he will buy. And if some investor wants to sell, then he will be buying and giving cash to the investor. So if there are no secondary traders, I hope you are clear now, right? हमारे पास जनरली स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में ट्रेडिंग किसके बीच होता है? दो इन्वेस्टर के बीच, जिनके पास ऑलरेडी शेयर है, राइट? मगर हमारे पास काउंटर पार्टी अवेलेबल नहीं, कोई इन्वेस्टर को कोई शेयर बेचने, मगर उसके पास सामने खरीदने वाला कोई इन्वेस्टर है नहीं, तो क्या होगा कि वो ओवर द काउंटर स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे वो शेयर बेचने के लिए जब ट्रेड डालेगा, तो सामने अगर कोई मैचिंग इन्वेस्टर नहीं मिलेगा, तो डीलर विल बाय एंड ही विल बी बाइंग द शेयर एंड गिविंग मनी टू द इन्वेस्टर. तो इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि डीलर इज एक्टिंग एज एन इन्वेस्टर एंड ब्रोकर. आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू यू, राइट? तो बेसिकली इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? द डीलर हैज टू कीप द स्टॉक ऑफ शेयर्स. क्लियर छे? हाँ के ना? Right? So if there is some buyer, then dealer should have the shares to give, right? So dealer should keep the stock of shares with him, right? And dealer should also keep cash, hard cash, because if seller comes, then he will buy and give the cash. So now this activity of providing shares to a buyer and providing cash to a seller and providing the quotation. See, the dealer has to provide a two-way quote for the securities in which he is trading. Suppose जो एक्सचेंज में उसमें सपोज 1000 कंपनी के शेयर लिस्टिंग हुए, और उसमें सपोज देर आर 10 डीलर, और हमेशा ऐसा हम सोचते हैं, सपोज हाइपोथेटिकली अगर हम अज्यूम करते हैं कि एक डीलर 100 सिक्योरिटी में वो डील करता है, तो इसका मतलब कि वो 100 सिक्योरिटी के शेयर उसको हाथ में रखने पड़ेंगे, कैश भी उसको हाथ में रखना पड़ेगा, और साथ में he has to conduct the market making. मार्केट मेकिंग मीन्स ही हैज टू गिव टू वे कोट कि अगर बेचना है तो फिर मैं ये कोट पे बेचूंगा और खरीदना है तो ये कोट पे मैं खरीदूंगा. तो ही हैज टू गिव अ सेल कोट ऑन इन द मार्केट ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, राइट. तो ओटीसी में ब्रोकर नहीं होते. कौन होते हैं? डीलर होते हैं. डीलर क्या करते हैं? जो भी सिक्योरिटी में वो डील करते हैं उसमें उनका डीलिंग होता है. डीलिंग में उनको दो काम करना पड़ता है. पहला काम है मार्केट मेकिंग. इसका मतलब प्रोवाइडिंग टू वे कोटेशन फॉर बाय एंड सेल. एंड सेकेंड वन, if any investor come, he has to engage in the buy and sell activity. तो बेसिकली ऑब्जेक्टिव ये था that if any security or if any small companies shares are not traded in the market, then this is a ready-made market where the dealers will be doing the market making activity and therefore the investor will be interested to buy the shares, to invest in the shares. किसी भी कंपनी का आपको पक्का मालूम है कि ये शेयर का कभी ट्रेडिंग होने वाला नहीं है क्योंकि ये बहुत 3 करोड़ से कम कैपिटल वाली कंपनी है, तो आप वो शेयर खरीदने का कोशिश करोगे नहीं एज एन इन्वेस्टर. मगर अगर आपको पता चले कि नहीं नहीं हमारे पास ये एक ऐसा ऑनलाइन स्टॉक एक्सचेंज है और जहाँ डीलर है और मुझे जब भी बेचना होगा तो मैं बेच पाऊंगा, जब भी मुझे खरीदना होगा तो खरीद पाऊंगा और मुझे दो टू वे कोट मिलता है, then the general investor or general public will be interested in investing in those securities or in those companies. But unfortunately, the OTC exchange also did not do well. And OTC exchange, अगर आप OTC stock exchange का अगर आप वेबसाइट देखोगे तो वो अभी बंद होने वाला है. इट इज अंडर द प्रोसेस ऑफ लिक्विडेशन, राइट. आप ओटीसी का प्लीज वेबसाइट देखिए, आईएससी का भी प्लीज आप वेबसाइट देखिए, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि भाई हमारे देश में जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज है अभी हमारे पास दो ही है, ओनली टू, राइट. एनएससी और बीएससी, इसके ऊपर ही पूरा हमारा मार्केट चल रहा है. सो वी नीड टू हैव मोर स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस. आर यू गेटिंग इट राइट? ये क्या हो गया? ड्यूओपोली. आर यू गेटिंग इट? खरीदना है, बेचना है, बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज है और कोई ऑप्शन हो आपके पास अवेलेबल नहीं है. So we need to have more stock exchanges to make the financial system stronger. Anyway, that is the message. क्योंकि बाकी तीन चालू करने की, सेटअप करने की, एस्टैब्लिश करने की कोशिश की गई, प्रयत्न किए गए, मगर वो हुआ नहीं, फेल हो गए. इसका मतलब कि दो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज हमारे इतने बड़े हैं, राइट, जायंटिक है कि इसके सामने हमारे और कोई नया स्टॉक एक्सचेंज खोल के, राइट, उसमें हमारा पूरा रिस्क मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, ऑनलाइन ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होना चाहिए, तभी ये बन सकता है. तो इंडिया नीड्स मोर स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस. एनीवे, आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन, राइट. सो वी हैव गॉट बीएससी, एनएससी, regional, ISC and OTC. Are you clear everyone? Thank you so very much. Now coming to the I am going to continue क्योंकि ये सिस्टम देखो कितना लंबा है और मैं अभी फर्स्ट यूनिट में ही हूँ. राइट. द सेकेंड कैटेगरी इज द डेट मार्केट, राइट. पहले हमारा था इक्विटी. इक्विटी में दो कैटेगरी हमारे पास, तीन कैटेगरी, प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी एंड डेरिवेटिव. So now the third category is the derivatives market. Under the derivative market, the derivatives are always traded on the stock exchange. Now let us understand what is a derivative first, and then we will talk about the main types of derivatives. Now we have got two types of derivative. One is a future, another one is the option. Now why they are known as derivative? Derivatives are known as derivatives because its values are derived from something, right? तो अगर आप स्टॉक मार्केट का कुछ भी थोड़ा आप देखते होंगे तो आपको फ्यूचर एंड ऑप्शन के सौदे के बारे में आपने थोड़ा कुछ देखा होगा, आपने कुछ सुना होगा, राइट? ओके, so right, so in our country there are two type of markets. One is the cash market. Cash market means that when you are buying the shares will be credited to your account. आपके खाते में शेयर जमा होंगे and the funds or the cash will be debited from your account, right? तो बेसिकली आपके खाते में शेयर जमा होंगे अगर आप बाय करते हो एंड इफ यू आर सेलिंग आपके खाते में से शेयर डेबिट हो जाएंगे, कमी हो जाएंगे, माइनस हो जाएंगे. That is the cash market. But now coming to the derivative market, on the basis of the price and trend of the current market or the securities that are traded on the current market, the prices are derived. Prices are derived based on the prices available in the cash market, and the contracts are generated by online stock exchange, right? Those trades are known as derivative trades. And again derivative trade के दो क्लासिफिकेशन है, फ्यूचर एंड ऑप्शन. तो अगर आप सपोज रिलायंस का अभी आज का जो प्राइस है अराउंड 2000 रुपीज उसका प्राइस है, राइट? नाउ दी डेरिवेटिव्स प्राइस आर नथिंग बट द फ्यूचर प्राइसेस which are decided upon the current market price of the shares that are traded on the stock exchange. तो अंडरलाइंग रिलायंस कंपनी के इक्विटी शेयर का आज का जो प्राइस है उसको क्या बोलेंगे हम? अंडरलाइंग. अंडरलाइंग LYING. And based on the current market price of Reliance, that is the underlying, we are trying to estimate the future price of Reliance Industries after 1 month, after 2 months and after 3 months, right? तो आज का भाव 2100 है, तो 1 महीने के बाद क्या होगा, 2 महीने के बाद क्या होगा और 3 महीने के बाद क्या होगा, राइट? तो जो भी फ्यूचर प्राइस है, those prices are derived, they are taken, they are based on the current market price. So when we are trading not in the cash market, today's market, but we are trading on the basis of the price estimate in future after 1 month, 2 months and 3 months, that is known as the derivatives segment. So derivative is known as because the prices are derived from the current market price of the security. The derivative trading can be allowed by the stock exchange, not for all securities but only for the eligible security. तो अगर आपके स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में 5000 सिक्योरिटीज लिस्टेड हैं तो हर एक 5000 सिक्योरिटी के डेरिवेटिव के आपको ट्रेडिंग अलाउड नहीं होगा. द स्टॉक एक्सचेंज विल मेक द इवैल्यूएशन, कंपनी हैज टू मेक द एप्लीकेशन कि हमारी कंपनी के इक्विटी शेयर का आप डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग के लिए भी हमें परमिशन दो. And if the stock exchange provides permission, then only it will be allowed for the derivative trading. Now, the current price, right? Whatever, 2000 rupees for Reliance, right? Okay. Now, there is a buyer and there is a seller. There is a buyer and there is a seller, right? And price is decided on the demand supply forces, right? There are a lot of buyers and there are lot of sellers, and that demand supply will ultimately decide the market price in the cash market, right? And whenever there is a buy and sell, between the buyer and the seller, I am repeating, between the buyer of the security and the seller of the security, they enter into a contract for exchanging the security against the cash, right? But the contracts that are futures contracts, those contracts are not the contracts between one owner of the security and the one who wants to purchase, but the contracts are generated by the stock exchange itself. Are you getting it right? आज के भाव के ऊपर से रिलायंस के जो फ्यूचर का जो भाव है, that contract is generated, auto generated by computer system on the stock exchange. तो आपको ये जो फ्यूचर के जो प्राइसेस है, they are dependent upon the current market price, but the contracts are generated by the online stock exchange. Again, in India, derivative trading is allowed only on the online stock exchange only, and the terms and conditions, right, of the contract will be fixed. सपोज मुझे रिलायंस का एक शेयर लेना है तो मैं खरीद सकती हूँ, 50 खरीदना है तो मैं खरीद सकती हूँ, 100 खरीदना है तो भी मैं खरीद सकती हूँ. बट फॉर द डेरिवेटिव द लॉट साइज कि कितने मिनिमम नंबर शेयर में ट्रेडिंग होगा, व्हाट विल बी द वैल्यू, राइट, कि पर 100 रुपये पे कितना मार्जिन लगेगा, दैट रिक्वायरमेंट, कितना प्रीमियम लगेगा, that one, what will be the time period for the contract, everything is controlled and decided by the stock exchange. So basically the terms and conditions of the derivative market or the future and options contract are always fixed and they are decided by the stock exchanges, they are governed by the stock exchange. तो हमारे पास दो प्रकार के ट्रेडिंग है हमारे पास, एक तो कैश मार्केट का है, दूसरा है हमारा डेरिवेटिव मार्केट. अगेन द डेरिवेटिव्स आर बेस्ड ऑन two ways. One is the future and second one is the option. Again there are future and options are based on index and based on stock. तो आपके पास जो इंडेक्स है, राइट, हमारा बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसिटिव इंडेक्स है, दैट इज सेंसेक्स, जिसको हम बोलते हैं. एनएसई का जो इंडेक्स है उसको हम निफ्टी बोलते हैं, राइट. ये दो हमारे मेन इंडेक्स है. इसके उपरांत बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज एंड नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज हैज गॉट सम मिनी इंडेक्सेस और sectoral indexes like bank, pharmaceutical, etc., etc. So we have got theme-based indexes also, which are introduced by the exchanges. So again, right, very one important thing I would like to tell you is that index is what? The index itself is a derivative. क्योंकि इंडेक्स का भाव कहाँ से आता है? सिक्योरिटी के प्राइस से आता है, राइट. तो 50 shares are the representative, right, index which is included in the Nifty. For Sensex, there are 30 scripts that are included in the Sensex. So basically, Nifty and Sensex, they themselves are the derivatives, and based on the current value of the indexes, again the future trading is done. So the trading on the derivative can be on two ways. One is for the index base, and second one is the specific stock base. So indexes are created by the stock exchange, राइट. तो इंडेक्स का ट्रेडिंग है, उसके लिए स्टॉक एक्सचेंज की कोई परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि वो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज नहीं बनाए. तो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज अपने आप वो इंडेक्स का ट्रेडिंग, फ्यूचर का ट्रेडिंग या डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग वो खुद इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. बट फॉर कंपनी स्क्रिप्ट, राइट, कि जो कंपनी के जो शेयर हैं उनका डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग अगर आपको करना है, जैसे आपके शेयर के लिस्टिंग की जैसे आप एप्लीकेशन करते हो, वैसे डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग के लिए भी कंपनी को एप्लीकेशन करनी पड़ेगी टू द स्टॉक एक्सचेंज दैट प्लीज इंक्लूड आवर कंपनी इन द डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग लिस्ट. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द डेरिवेटिव्स, you can have a look at your chart. Derivative market is always exchange traded. It is allowed only on the online stock exchanges. We have got two categories, future and option. Again there are two categories. We have got index based and stock based. Again index में OTC. Again there are varieties. We have got interest rate के डेरिवेटिव होते हैं, फ्यूचर और एन ऑप्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है, देन रेट, एंड देन अगेन वी हैव गॉट द derivatives contracts, and on the other end we have got the particular stock based derivative contract. So dear friends, this is all regarding the derivatives market. Anyway, the third category, that is the debt market, we are going to discuss in अभी भी है 10 मिनट का टाइम, खत्म कर लेते हैं, छोटा ही है. Uh, the debt market is nothing but the debentures or the bonds, right, that are issued by the companies or the corporations. So debt market comprises of private corporate debt. Private means the debentures or the bonds that are issued by the public limited companies, right? When they say private corporate debt, it means that the public limited companies that are listed on the stock exchanges, when they issue the debenture and bond, that is known as categorized as the private corporate debt. Second one is the PSU bond market. So we got public sector units. You know there is a long list of public sector units, and all the PSUs can again issue the debt in the form of bonds, right? Bonds are having a longer time period and they are always issued at a discount, right? So the bonds are issued by the public sector unit. That is again a kind of borrowing. And the third category are the government securities market, because Reserve Bank of India issues the treasury bills, right? And those treasury bills are again part of the government securities. Apart from that, state government also issue the government security, state government bonds, right? So they are also categorized as the government securities. So we have got three categories. One is issued by the public sector companies. Second one is the not public sector company, public limited company. Second one is the public sector unit. And the third one is the government security. So all the three categories borrowings are categorized into the debt market, and all those securities are traded on the online stock exchanges. Again, they are categorized into two parts, primary and secondary. So when it is issued for the first time, it is part of the primary market. When the trading is done among the investors after the issue, then it becomes a secondary market. So that's all, dear friends, for the capital market. In our next class, we'll talk about the money market.